Started back in 1993 with a grant from the federal government, Family Access Network advocates in Deschutes County work hand in hand with families to connect them with food, clothing, and/or shelter, or whatever it is that they need. Working directly with schools, the advocates are knowledgeable about community resources available, as well as state and federal programs. Lyche and Sunny Maxwell are with FAN. FAN seems to be really a voice for the kids in the schools.
Yes,
yeah.
We are in all of the K-12 schools in Deschutes County and 3 early childhood sites. And so our advocates help over 9,500 kids and family members in Deschutes County every year.
So you actually have a person from FAN in each school that's kind of the middleman or woman.
Right,
in
right.
a school.
Yeah, navigator, probably not middleman.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Navigator is the term you've used in FAN. Excellent.
And so we have a FAN advocate at each school, not necessarily full-time, but somebody identified to be at every school, and then they really are there to help connect families and really help them navigate the often difficult social service system. It's sometimes hard to know who has services at what time, when agencies are open, what's available. So the advocate really is there to help those families figure out where they can get the help they need.
Yeah, and so Sunny, and this is something that, I mean, it's really, like I said in the intro, a voice for the kid, because it's not because the principal or the counselor or the teachers don't understand or care. It's more of, I would imagine, their power to do anything or be that voice, plus their role is a little different, and you have this huge group of kids. So now you've got one person that can really focus on particular kids that a principal or a teacher might point out to you, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Being run through the school system is just a way to have exposure. The advocates are there to help the kids if they notice a need that they may have. And families can also go into the school and visit with the advocate if a parent or caretaker needs extra help with something.
So, but in the, when this started back in 1993, and I was talking, a lot of people in town know about FAN. And Ron, who I don't think he used to be on the board, who works with me, let me know that this started with a $1.3 million grant. And times have changed and grant money has changed. And so now, while you're prospering, and it's not that you aren't now, but there's definitely a need for money too, to keep this program going that seems to be really important.
And we were really lucky when FAN started because it really was a pilot project that the federal government supported. And then over time, the federal money has diminished to less than 50% of what it was originally. And so in that, we have started the FAN Foundation board, and Sunny's one of our amazing board members. And so their job really is to help sustain FAN and make sure that we have diversity fiscally so we can have our advocates continue on in the schools.
And so Sunny, now you have this 5 for 5 campaign going on.
We do, yes. So this year we have a special need. We had a federal grant to support our early childhood advocates for 5 years, and that grant is expiring in September of this year, of 2014. So currently FAN supports 3 full-time early childhood advocates. And
they go from school to school?
Well, because the early childhood is 0 through 5, so generally those are kids who are not yet in the public school system. So the great thing about these advocates is they are able to support families that don't have kids in public school yet. So what we're trying to do this year is a special campaign called 5 for Under 5, and we are our goal is to support 1 to 2 advocates for next year. So we're trying to raise a little bit of extra money due to this expiring grant to keep these early childhood advocates in place, because it's just a crucial link when if you are a family that doesn't have your child in school yet, but you need support for your toddler, then that's where the early childhood advocates come in.
And really, that 0 to 5 is such a I mean, if you're moms and even if you're fully supported by your family and whatever, it's such a crucial, hard time for parents in that time too. But to be able to have support, and that age group is such, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's such a time where they really are learning and growing, and there's nobody else to speak for them in some cases. Even if the parents are great parents, it's like you can help them navigate through. What happens if this money's not there?
So we are committed to having an early childhood FAN advocate at some level next year. So our hope is that through our current fundraising efforts and through business support that we will have somebody in place for
Right.
whatever capacity we have. And I think the piece about the early childhood, it's the developmental stage. I
Right.
think that's so important for
Right.
them. And a really good example of what our early childhood fan advocates do is we had a mom recently who had a job and lost her job, and she had a 3-year-old. And so she lost her job, but she had a new job starting. It wasn't starting for 2 weeks. And her rent came due, and she was going to get evicted because she didn't have the money. But she knew she had a job, but then she wasn't going to get paid for 2
Right.
more weeks after that. So she knew she was at least a month out for getting any money. And so the fan advocate worked with her and 6 other community partners to get enough money together for her to be able to stay in her apartment. And so she was able to stay in her apartment with her 3-year-old, and then her job started, and she had enough money, and she moved on. So that was really a one touch for our early childhood fan advocate that made a huge impact in that family's life.
Well, and here's what I love about this. It's kind of like Icon City, which is another great nonprofit in town where you're really affecting local.
Right.
You can actually see some change happen here locally. Where can somebody wants to participate or contribute to the 5 for 5 campaign? Where do they go?
Yeah, so this is where the community can step in and help. Is we have 5 for 5 is essentially we've created what we hope is a very accessible way to help by giving just $5 a month. And we can do it through, you can a one-time or you can do a monthly withdrawal. And our website has all that information. So you can go to our website or call the fan office if you're interested in donating. And I mean, it could be any amount, but $5 a month, what that means to you, if that's a specialty coffee or a craft brew, if you could just commit to helping
Just go
fan
to
in that
happy
way.
hour.
That's right.
That's what you do. You can
Cut
still
that
go-
price in half
Yeah.
and give the rest to fan.
What's great
So-
about it is at $5, you put it on your card, you won't even notice that it's, unless you're like my dad who watches his checkbook still. But maybe that's another segment. But you won't even notice that it's gone, and it's a really small nominal amount of money that can make a really big difference. Thank you, ladies. We'll put your website again up on the site. If you want to donate, you can go to their website and get on the 5 for 5 program, or you can do 10 or 100 if you want. That would be even better. My Window from Tethero. We'll be right back.